Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
It's another good-looking afternoon as we get ready to say goodbye to September and hello to October. I have a big change that may have you thinking November.
We have breaking news involving a shooting at a Kentucky high school this afternoon. We'll have the latest from Louisville.
BB guns can be purchased by just about any adult, but a case involving shots fired here on UK's campus is proving that you can't use them everywhere.
We're following a breaking news alert out of Louisville. Students at a Louisville high school had to leave the building after a student was shot this afternoon inside a classroom. It happened at Fern Creek, that's southeast of downtown near the Gene Snyder Freeway. The student who was wounded was rushed to the hospital. WKYT Sam Dick is at the live desk with the breaking details.
Jennifer, the suspected shooter is still on the loose this afternoon. The teenager who was shot is now being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. This all happened at Fern Creek High School. We have a live picture from the school where there is still a large police presence late this afternoon. WDRB-TV in Louisville is reporting the shooter is a 16-year-old sophomore. Police say the shooting happened inside a classroom. Investigators are calling it an isolated incident, believing only the student shot was the one being targeted. Police say the teen gunman left the school right after the shooting. The school was immediately put on lockdown. Students were evacuated by police with their hands over their heads to a nearby softball field. Now, the school system has been busing students to a nearby park to meet their parents. The school district says that the parents of the victim are now with their child at the hospital. Again, he is expected to be okay. That's the good news there. We have a reporter on the scene. WKYT's Victor Puente will have live reports with the latest details beginning on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. At the live desk, Sam Dick reporting for WKYT. Jennifer?
Thank you, Sam. Police say they've searched the suspected shooter's home in a nearby neighborhood, but as of right now, he remains on the loose. Well, now to big changes that are coming in the weather. We're going from highs in the 80s to lows in the 30s in less than a week. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the changes. Chris?
Yeah, you got to love these big changes that you often get this time of year. Fall in Kentucky, noted for those big temperature changes. And we have those on the way, as you mentioned, Jennifer, out there right now. A little bit of a change working in from north to south. Notice Covington, 77 degrees, low 80s elsewhere across central and eastern Kentucky. That is as a little weak cool front makes its way through the area. Now, Live First Alert Defender, even with a cold front on our doorstep, showing the general trend is for drier than normal conditions. We've had a fairly dry past couple of weeks throughout the area. Though Defender's picking up on some clouds here across northern Kentucky, any shower and thunderstorm action associated with this front is well off to our north and northeast. Now, the air to the south of this, well, that's what we're getting out there. Now, air coming in behind this, though, is a little cooler than what we're seeing. So instead of low 80s today, we'll stay in the 70s tomorrow. But it is a front that is way out across the Rocky Mountains that promises a major change by the weekend. I've got a taste of November temperatures, Jennifer, showing up in your 7-day forecast. I'll show you how we get there in just a few minutes.
4 UK football players are expected to be charged with disorderly conduct, a misdemeanor, for the incident that caused a campus lockdown. Today, the Fayette County attorney told us the charges after meeting with UK police. Jerka Insko has the latest in our top stories at 4.
An investigation involving shots fired here on UK's campus is bringing up questions of when and where it's appropriate to use BB guns. UK's policy states any weapon from which a shot readily capable of producing death or other serious physical injury may be discharged is prohibited from being used on campus. Because of that policy, 4 UK football players, including freshmen Dorian Baker, Drew Barker, Tymir DeBose, and Stanley Williams, have been suspended for Saturday's game against South Carolina. UK officials tell us this group fired an airsoft gun and at least 2 BB guns, scaring some fellow students on campus Sunday night. Because someone could have been hurt, UK police aren't taking the incident lightly, not knowing if it was a prank.
Was the intent to cause alarm? Is that what the people involved are trying to do? That we don't know, but that's obviously one of the things that happens with disorderly conduct. Or was their behavior unreasonable? You know, would a reasonable person know that that behavior would cause alarm or disorder, and that's what they have to look at.
The county attorney tells us they do plan to file charges of second-degree disorderly conduct, but right now it's not clear who will be charged. On UK's campus, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
We just checked with the district court clerk's office and nothing has been filed yet. In addition to misdemeanor charges and punishment by Coach Mark Stoops, the student athletes could also face disciplinary action for breaking the university's code of conduct. State investigators want to know why the smoke detectors did not work when a Richmond motel caught fire yesterday. Fire officials condemned the Country Hearth Inn off the bypass because the damage was so extensive. They say a hot plate in a room likely started the fire. No one was injured. On WKYT News at 5, someone who was staying at the motel tells us why he feels grateful. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott is in the newsroom with a look at some more of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Amber.
Good afternoon to you, Jennifer. A bizarre story out of Louisville where a missing woman was found alive in the trunk of a car. Police say a group walking by that car heard her making a noise. They used a brick to break open a window to free her. Police say she has a broken arm and was dehydrated. They're not sure how she ended up in the trunk or who's responsible. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, you'll hear from the woman who found her. And as the fall wildfire season begins, the Kentucky Division of Forestry says it has some new help when it comes to investigating cases of arson. The agency says it is the first time trained dogs are being used to help with investigations. The fall wildfire season begins tomorrow and runs through December 15th. Coming up on WKYT News at 5, you're going to hear from officials at Daniel Boone National Forest about why this time of year is forest fire season and more on those bloodhounds being used to investigate. That is a look at just some of the news that's in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The director of the Secret Service calls the incident where an Army veteran scaled a fence and entered the White House unacceptable. Now lawmakers are demanding to know how the man got so far into the White House. Martha Shade has details.
Everybody out right now. Go back. Everybody into the park.
On September 19th, a man armed with a knife ran into what is supposed to be the most well-protected home on the planet, the White House. The initial reports were that Omar Gonzalez didn't get very far after hopping the fence. However, according to one whistleblower, Gonzalez overpowered the guard inside those doors, ran past the stairway leading up to the first family's residence, and through the East Room. A congressman says a pair of off-duty agents helped take him down. Now a House Oversight Committee wants to know why. They grilled the head of the Secret Service at a hearing today.
The American people want to know if there is a president safe. I want to know if we can rely on reports from your agency.
It's clear that our security plan was not properly executed. This is unacceptable, and I take full responsibility, and I will make sure that it does not happen again.
Pearson says her agent showed restraint in not using lethal force, a decision that Congressman Jason Chaffetz says was wrong.
Don't let somebody get close to the president. Don't let somebody get close to his family. Don't let them get in the White House, ever. And if they have to take action that's lethal, I will have their back.
In Atlanta, I'm Martha Shade reporting.
In the White House press briefing, Secretary Josh Earnest told reporters President Obama still has confidence in Director Julia Pearson. A man accused of abducting and killing a real estate agent in Arkansas has pleaded not guilty to kidnapping and capital murder charges. Aaron Lewis appeared in court this morning. The body of Beverly Carter was found overnight in a shallow grave at a concrete company where Lewis used to work. Carter had been missing since Thursday when she told her husband she planned to show a home to a prospective buyer. The man accused of beheading a co-worker at an Oklahoma food processing plant last week could face the death penalty. Alton Nolan is charged with first-degree murder in the attack, which also wounded a second woman. We've learned Nolan had been suspended from the company just before police say he walked into an office and attacked the two women with a knife last Thursday. The woman whose complaint led to Nolan's suspension survived the attack, being stabbed multiple times. Oklahoma City police say the company's chief operating officer, who's also a reserve sheriff's deputy, shot Nolan. eBay is spinning off its online payment service PayPal as a separate company. We'll tell you why coming up next in WKYT Money Watch.